Already. This is a US person is already on. Oh my God. I need something to try this. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Look, leave it. Just leave it.
Good morning. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so who is on? Is Amos on?
Yeah, I'm on. Good morning. Okay, let me put my video off.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Professor.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Good morning, Professor.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Professor.
Are you waking up?
Yeah, I'm just waking up. It's 7 o'clock here.
Okay. All right. So I think should we not have video? I think I can just talk because there are with a lot of people. If we all have video cameras on, it may be maybe we'll have a lot of interference and delays and things of that nature. What do you think?
Very correct, Prof. I think first is for sake of introduction first, let's just do that. Then yes. Perhaps when the lecture begins, we might actually deactivate our videos.
Yes.
I think first, we're just having Dr. Mrs. Adebo today, so I think the rest of them may just be getting to meet her today. But we will not waste much time.
Okay, that's great. Yes, yeah. that would be great. So, yes, to introduce her.
Great.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great. So it's time for the event already. I have 10 people already. I think every other person will join in as they're set. So I don't know whether everybody got the program. You got the agenda?
I didn't get the agenda.
Yes.
Yeah, the agenda is on your WhatsApp.
Yes, you get the agenda.
So first, yes. We're going to listen to Prof between 2 and 3. And after that, after the lecture, we will take individual state by state according to that schedule. I will need you to individually do a review of what you understand by what has been presented. Now, we'll just follow through that way and we'll round up and we'll get Dr. Mrs. Debo to help us wrap up what she thinks these educational paths as an advantage could benefit every other state in Nigeria. We're able to work today with about 10, 11 states. And I think that's actually a good size to start with because later on there'll be this multiply effects of this smart city innovation, education across the youth in other states as time goes on. So I welcome everybody. We still expect some states to join us, but as soon as they are on, we'll admit them into the class. So thank you. I'll just hand over to Prof now, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you. First of all, welcome everybody, and thanks for coming. Amos, I am not seeing, where can I show? Okay, yeah, okay, I can share my screen. All right, so I am going to turn my video camera off. All right.
So we can all turn our videos off for the purpose of getting a better quality presentation.
Yes. Right, right. Okay, good. So that's good. I'm gonna share my screen. And please let me know when you can see something here. Okay, just a minute. I'm just going to go back and see, okay, if I can go back to the beginning of this. So this should be the screen of the session. I also have another file. Okay, so this is, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it from.
Yes, sure, we can see it.
Okay, all right. And I'm also going to see if I can show you the website. This is the website of the course. Can you see the screen?
Yes. Yes, we can.
What we have is the session 1 digital enterprises overview, sir.
Right. So I just wanted to first of all walk everybody through the website, the course website. So this is the one that I think Amos, you might have already shared it with them, the Moodle site. Did you?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. So maybe we can do this later on. But there is this site here, and we'll I'll send you the information in a few minutes. And actually, Amos has that. So on this site, you will find the course information. This is the entire course overview. This also shows you all the materials. And there's a course overview document that describes the course in detail. And then there's a session on a digital enterprise overview. That's what we are going to do today. So allow me 5 minutes just to walk you through this website first. So this is the information about the first session that we are having right now. And with the session, here are the slides. So if you just click on this slides, you will be able to access these slides. I'm going to show these slides to you. In fact, all of you are already registered in this course. So I will show you that also. And then this is the next week's session, and then the week after that. So we have put material up for 3 weeks. First week is today. First session is today. The second session will be next week, and then a week after that. So the materials are already there. You just need to be able to log into this website, and Amos can provide you the information. We can send you the information too. And I just wanted to also show you that all the participants are already in the system. So Arsalan did this job. So you can see in a minute, you'll see that your names are there and your email addresses are also here. Muhammad already logged in this morning. I think we had Muhammad and Badego. I'm sorry, I'm going to mess up your name. Maybe I'll abbreviate it, Badobo. Yeah, Badobo. He also logged in 6 hours ago. Mohammed logged in about 8 hours ago. So some people already have logged in. So you should be able to log in without any problem. The information should be provided to you. Amos, you
Yes,
can just email them the
excellent.
website and they will be able to.
All right, sir.
Okay, please. Okay, so that they can all log in, because I make sure that everybody is, aware of what the course is going to look like. This will be actually run like a university course, so you will get an experience of a university type course, and the system is very, very simple. So you should be able to just log on into it. Yes, so once again, I'm just going over the website. Let me take one more minute. So this is the main course overview material that we have. All right. And I am going to go over this slide, this content, this document, the course overview document. If you click on it, you will see a document, and I'm going to show it to you. There are some announcements. We'll post them here, and there's a discussion forum also for the students, for all of you to post your information about yourself, like a paragraph. Each one of you should write a paragraph about yourself and post it. So this will be all here. And I think
I can't see anything on the screen.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My one is showing on the screen, sir.
Is from nothing is changing on the screen. It's your first slide screen that I'm still seeing here, digital enterprise overview.
So you're seeing that, you're not seeing anything else. Okay, I'm sorry. So why is this not showing?
Even me, I'm not seeing anything on my screen from Kano State.
Okay, so okay, so let me go back here. Okay, are you seeing this? Are you seeing
No, we're only seeing the first screen. Yeah, we are seeing, something is happening on that page. But the screens, the slides are not moving. Yeah, I can see your mouse move.
Can you
we can see your mouse move. I can see your mouse move. Yeah, we can now. Yeah, we can see your mouse moving.
But there's a background noise somewhere. But can you see my screen? This slide screen.
Yes.
It's changing now.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, yes, we can. Yeah, change it now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me just stay on this screen, and I think we'll just talk about, I'll get back to the other part later on then. All right. So let me just take advantage of this part first. Maybe for some reason the screens are not changing, but I'm having trouble flipping from one screen to the other. But let me just show you this slide first. All right. Everybody can see this?
Yeah, we can see the digital enterprise overview.
Okay, so thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'll just walk you through it. So what my purpose today is to give you kind of a general idea of the digital enterprise overview. I know that many of you have very good technical background already, but some of it will be review of it. But I want to present to you the major concepts of digital enterprises, because this is the kind of information that is used in also smart cities and smart, any kind of a smart enterprise, like any of the companies that you're using. So this is a mixture, by the way, of technologies and business. So I'm going to talk very briefly about what's a digital enterprise, What are organizations? First of all, very briefly talk about them, talk about digital organizations, smart organizations, and then how are they evolving with the digital technologies and what are the impacts of it. So it will be very basic today, but I do want to set some kind of basic terminology. So my focus is to get all the terms and concepts clear. And please do ask questions as I go along. So this is a very interactive type of a session. So first of all, can you see this slide of organization as a system?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Okay, great. Okay, so the idea is that first of all, I'm going to ask you, do you know, does everybody know what is an organization?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
Organization is a group of people with certain goals, with certain common goals.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Yeah, it says that. So it's a group of people, and their purpose is with a common set of goals. How many people make an organization? Does anybody know? Is it 1, 2, 200, 500, 5,000? How many people do you need to form an organization? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
How much? How many? 1 or 2 or 5 or 10?
So you can start with 1 to 5 above, sir.
Okay, above 1. Okay, that's good. Yes. In
Yes, sir.
fact, it is minimum of 2.
Yes, minimum of 2, sir.
Okay, so reason is because if you're running an organization, you need at least 2 people to be able to organize it, because it's very easy for us to convince one person. It's only you. I know some of you are probably married, so all of you know that if you are single, it's a different thing. But when you get married, it's a very different thing, because then you have another person to work with. So it's the whole idea is it's at least 2 people. But what really happens is that in organizations, it's not really only 2 people, but it's people, processes, and technologies. So the components of the organization are not just only people, not only technologies, but it's people, processes, and technologies. So those are the 3 basic attributes of an organization. So for example, if you, let's say that you wanted to form a healthcare center in Nigeria, or any one of you wanted to form a healthcare center in Nigeria. So what will be the people? Doctors, right? Doctor will be the people, the patients are the people, and also, of course, the staff. Right. So these are all different type of people. And then, of course, the processes. So in a healthcare center, what are the kind of things that are the process? What is the process? What's the process used in a healthcare organization, like a healthcare center? Do you think that's like an admission process when a patient comes in? Do you think that's a process?
Yes. Admission process and customer services.
Exactly.
Yes, it is a process.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's a process. Customer service.
Consultation.
Sorry?
Consultation.
Yeah, consultation, exactly. So these are all processes in every organization. By the way, my style of teaching is very interactive, so get used to it, please. And because I'm going to ask you questions so that we are all
Building among the process of hospital.
Yeah, it is a hospital. Yep. Yeah.
Building.
Yes. Yes, actually building safety also. So there are a lot of processes, and then of course technologies. There are X-ray machines, electronic health records. Maybe you can put information about a patient on an Excel spreadsheet. And in fact, many cases, I have worked with very small healthcare centers and telemedicine centers where they put all the patient records on an Excel spreadsheet and send it through an email to somebody else. Okay, so you don't need fancy technologies, but you do need some technology to run a healthcare organization. So is that whenever you, for example, because many of you are entrepreneurs, so when you're running a company, you have to talk about people. You have to know the processes. What will they do? Who will do what? And then you have to also take care of the technologies. Okay, so that's the general idea. There are a lot of different names for organizations, enterprises, companies, firms, and these are all the same thing. So that there are people, I already mentioned, for example, organization as a system, it means people, processes, and technology. By the way, this slide deck that I'm showing you, it is on the Moodle site that I show you the link. So if there, you will find these slides. And then, of course, there are different types of organizations like for-profit, non-profit. There are some organizations that are called meta organizations because they're organizations of organizations like the African Union, because these are many organizations of organizations. United Nations is an organization of organization, and EU is another organization of organization. And then, of course, government is an organization, right?
Sure.
Yes,
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what do you think is the difference between a government and a private organization? Anybody knows?
yes,
Anybody wants to think about it for a minute? What do you think?
yes. Government organization is to they help people, and private organization is they gain profit like profits.
Yeah, for profit. Okay, good, right. So the major difference is that in governments are required to protect their citizens. Now, some governments don't do that. We all know that, okay?
Like our own side.
Okay, some governments don't do a very good job of it, but they are required to protect their people. That's why they have police. And so when you're designing a system or a government agency, you have to be aware of it, that you are really, that these systems are used for protecting the people and enforcing the law and all the government regulations and rules and things of that nature. Private organizations are there to just to serve their customers, whoever happens to be their customer. That's fine. So they are not required to protect their customers. So anyway, this is general background about business, because we are going to use these concepts in actually digital enterprises. So my focus is on digital enterprises. There are a lot of definitions of it. I'm using this definition. Can you read this and tell me if you agree with this definition? A digital enterprise is defined as an organization where nearly all significant business processes and relationships with customers, suppliers, and employees are digitally enabled, and the key corporate assets are managed through digital means. In other words, in a digital organization, pretty much everything is digitized. Okay? Now,
Yeah.
do you know any organization in Nigeria that is a digital enterprise right now?
Like banks.
Like banks? Yeah, that's a very good idea. So, large cities and some banks, of course, they are very heavily digitized, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
they are.
They are. Okay, good, good. Now, but a lot of organizations that are in villages, they are not. I mean, they may not be, they may not have anything digitized. So I'm going to walk you through different categories of digital enterprises and how, you know, when you go from one stage to another, how do they evolve? Okay, so here is a kind of a very simple diagram of organizations. So when you say it, all of their activities are digitized. So the question is, what are those activities? So the basic idea is that in every organization, so this is an example of the green one box is an organization, and these yellow dots are the activities. And in this organization, you can see that there are customers on the left-hand side, and then there are business partners on the other side. So some of these business activities are customer to business. These are known as C2B type of activities like customer relationship management, as you just mentioned. And some of these activities are related to the business partners and other businesses. So these are known as B2B activities. These are the business to business activities with the partners. And also there is another activity that is business to employee, like payroll, finance, accounting, those kind of things that are business to employee type of things. So in a digital enterprise, all of these things are digitized. The customer to business is digitized, the business to business is digitized, and business to employee, they are also digitized. So all of these activities are digitized. Let me ask you one question. Out of all these three things, which is customer to business, business to business, and business to employee, which one of these three is most important for a company to really succeed? So in other words, if you could do only one thing, which one would you do first?
Business to customers.
Outstanding. Exactly. Yeah. Because if you don't have customers, you don't have a business. Okay.
You don't have a business, yes, sir.
Okay. So business to customers are the most important. I'm mentioning this because it is very important at a basic level. Before we get into all kind of technologies and things of that nature, I want to establish some basic ground rules that and that when you are digitizing, there is an issue of digital technology not being very commonly being used. But if you have no good. I know many of you are already running successful businesses. So, and I think I would like to, in fact, in the next round, I would like to maybe have you send me on the discussion forum, please give me your background, like what type of education you already have and what kind of business you're doing, so that I don't want to waste anybody's time if you already know these things. So this is very basic, as I said, but I just want to get started today. We'll get into some more details next week, and then the question is that how do companies go from being like what is called brick and mortar organization, which has nothing to digitizing everything. Do you think companies do that all at once, or do you think they go stage by stage? What do you think? Is it step by step, or is it all of a sudden?
I think it's basically a step-by-step process where they have timelines and they set goals for the organization sets goals for itself, and then they hit their timelines appropriately and they achieve their set goals.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So almost nobody just wakes up one morning and has the whole company digitized. So it is a step-by-step process. So the idea is that what are those steps and what are the advantages of those steps, and especially being in developing countries, what should be done first and what is usually done later on. So I'm going to just show you, this is the common, what is known as stages of evolution type of a model. And I'm going to give you some examples of it, that how can you go from a company that is totally what is called brick and mortar. Brick and mortar company is the one that has no technologies whatsoever. Okay, so this could be, for example, in Nigeria. So what do you think if you look at overall country? Do you think how many companies are brick and mortar? Basically, do you think it is 50%? Do you think it's 60%, 70%, 80%, 90%? How many, when you look at organizations, by the way, organizations, a small town is also an organization, a post office is an organization, all government services are organizations, of course, small retail stores are organizations. So in Nigeria, in your landscape, how many of these organizations are brick and mortar? Just a guess.
It's like 70%.
To digitize, or they start from, the first one is for them to actually start getting contacts with the customers by using technologies, just having a website for advertising. So they all they do is basically, so this may be a small shop, it may be a small town, a kind of a government of a small town. So they can start advertising their activities. This may be like a small pizza shop, and that can start advertising their pizza and their menu by using websites. So this is their so this is very simple. It is just web advertising. You can just use that through HTML or some other kind of, of course, HTML is a very good way of just getting started and building a very, very simple website. So, but this is only doing advertising. So on the bottom, you're seeing advertising as being the main activity being performed. If you go to one step higher, now what you're doing is not only, this, by the way, is a step-by-step process for automation. If you go to this stage, the next stage, you will see that now this is called the e-commerce site, where you have your advertising plus your purchasing. So in other words, not only somebody can know what you're selling, but they can also purchase it online. Okay.
Okay.
So this is by using credit cards, so they can pay. So for example, now when you are selling a product, so you can advertise a product, but people, in order to buy it, they have to come to your shop and then they have to buy it from there. So if you just are doing purchasing, also online purchasing system with a credit card, with a payment system or things of that nature, that's where the e-commerce comes into play. So this makes the company more automated. It attracts more customers, right? And it really also makes your company to be be more automated and more efficient. You can have large number of customers. So for example, by using advertising and purchasing, if you're running a small company, your company could be in Nigeria and it can do business in the United States because the customers can be in the United States, because they can do online and they can see your advertisement, plus they can do online purchasing. They don't have to go to Nigeria to buy your product. They can directly buy the products from United States, from Switzerland, from anywhere in the world, and you can have them delivered to it. The governments can provide their services, and private company can provide their services online by just having an online purchasing system or e-commerce system. Is that idea clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is clear.
Okay.
Yes.
So I feel the ones that are that were, so you said that, let's say that 70% are brick and mortar. That means at least 30% are automated. But do you think, how many of the ones that are automated, how many of them are really have e-commerce support?
Yes, sir.
How many?
We have Konga e-commerce website and Jumia, sir. Both open.
Okay. So you do have how many e-commerce sites are there? I mean, roughly speaking, 50% once again, or 10% of the automated. So I'm assuming that by the way, I'm working with Pakistan, I'm working with Solomon Island, with Sri Lanka, with Ghana, with a lot of different countries. So I have some statistics about other countries, but I want to know from your country. So how many of them are really? Do you think that pretty much most of them are moving to e-commerce, or are there most of them are just at the website advertising part?
I think in Nigeria here, most of them are really, really deeply involved in website advertising, and quite a few are really involved in e-commerce.
Okay. So e-commerce is also becoming popular. So that's good. That's very, very good. So the next one stage is the one. So in this case, you're also but what is happening is that you're really going from step by step. You're taking some of your business functionalities. By the way, these can be also used for a smart city also, and that's what. Purchasing. This is a network of shops. Okay, so you have virtual shops where, for example, if you have pizza shop, your shop is also connected to about 20 other pizza shops. So you place order at one place, and then that order is satisfied at another place. Can I give you some examples of it? What?
Right,
okay. For example, so if you let's say that you have a small company that sells. I'm just going to take example of pizza shop. A pizza shop, and in the United States, do you have Domino's Pizza in Nigeria?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Many of them.
Many of those.
Yes.
Is not just a shop. it is a network of shops. So you can actually, this is a true story. There was a soldier from New York City, and he was serving in Iraq, and he was talking to his family in New York from Iraq, and he asked them, it was Saturday night, and he asked them, what are you planning to do tonight? And the family said, we are thinking of ordering pizza and getting some pizza. So while they were talking, the doorbell rang, and there was a guy standing there with pizza. So this soldier sitting in Iraq had placed an order for pizza while sitting in Iraq, and pizza was delivered while they were still talking. It was delivered in New York City. Okay.
Okay.
So Domino. So this is another stage of automation. So you're going not from you're going from just an e-commerce to a network of e-commerce sites. And by the way, these can be not only just e-commerce, of course, but they can be the collaborations between different businesses. And so now, in this case, notice that your business is collaborating with other business by using technologies. All right?
Yes, sir.
So how many businesses, local businesses in Nigeria do you think are at this virtual shop or network organization that are connected to technologies? How many of they are there like that? I'm assuming very few. Is that a good assumption? Right?
Very few. Yes. Very few.
Okay. So in other words, what my assessment is turning out to be is there are a lot of organizations still as brick and mortar. Then there are few that many of them are now beginning to do website advertising, and e-commerce is picking up, but very, very few are at this high stage of really networks where businesses are collaborating with other businesses over the internet, right?
Yes.
Am I? So that's few. Okay. And by the way, there is another stage of developments is called the digital corporations. That this is now completely digital corporation, where they have all of their operations, including supply chain management and other things. That we'll take a look at it, by the way, almost all the operations of a company, and you will see how that works, and we are going to talk about it. But I am assuming that there are very few organizations in Nigeria that are in this next generation enterprise type thing, right?
Right, sir.
Okay. Now, so this is fine, but what do you think are the advantages of going up this stages? Do you think there are some advantages of evolving your country and also the villages and different sites, moving from stage, let's say stage 2 to stage 3 and things of that nature? What do you guys think?
So the more you expand to be, the more you get access to customers. For example, that customer that was in a different country make the order and deliver to another. If not because of this kind of progress, he can't be able to reach that kind of customers.
Right. Exactly. So as you get higher, you can get to more customers, and there are advantages. But do you see there are some disadvantages also going, or there are some difficulties? So what do you think are difficulties? Why is not everybody going to the highest level? By the way, in the United States also, not everybody, all the companies are next generation enterprises. A lot of companies are still e-commerce sites. Most of them are e-commerce. Small businesses especially are in the website and e-commerce site, where very few are in the portals. I mean the Enterprise 2.0 or virtual shops, and very few are really these sophisticated digital corporations like airlines are one of the examples, and things of that nature. Okay. So I think, am I right to say, and Amos and everybody else is listening, that a lot of the work that needs to be done in Nigeria is really moving, let's say, brick and mortar shops to first to the website advertising, and then to e-commerce. I think that part really would be the first stage of development in Nigeria as a country. Is that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think you guys are the catalysts. You are the leaders of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We'll do our best.
Yes.
Prof, they don't have any choice. They are getting Nigeria up by different projects across the country immediately after this workshop.
Right.
So they all have responsibilities in their various states to initiate and move all their brick and mortar to the next levels, in the next 1 to 2 years.
The new order.
Yeah, right. So I think we will work, I love to work with you, and I know that there are some of the things that, you cannot do, I cannot do either. But the question really will be, how do we get there slowly but surely, systematically? What can be done to go from brick and mortar to the website? That, by the way, is not very difficult to do nowadays. So, but however, in some of the places, the areas are not reachable by technology. I know many of the cities in Nigeria are not connected through the networks and things of that nature.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah.
Yes,
of course.
They have started the journey. They have no choice.
Right. So the question is, can some things be done? And I will give you some examples where there are. One example I gave last time, and this is one of my favorite example of a brother and sister who run a telemedicine center. And I am not going to mention the name of the country. It's a small island. They run it in a village that is totally disconnected in a small island. And so the brother is the one who is the paramedical guy, and his sister is a nurse. So she handles the patients. So what they do is what she does is she takes all the readings, she puts it on a Excel file, all of the readings, and she gives it to her brother, and her brother goes on a motorcycle to the nearest post office, which is about 10 miles away, and then there he sends that Excel file through email to some doctors in the larger city and also to Switzerland. They are networked with a couple of doctors in Switzerland. So in other words, this small healthcare center, way far off in woods that is not connected at all, they are getting advice from some doctors in Switzerland. Okay, just by being creative. In other words, they're saying, if there's no network, can we just take a thumb drive and go to a place? But by the way, I'm sure that even in the smallest villages, there is 2G network available, right? People do have wireless phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nigeria has one of the largest population of wireless phones, right?
That's true, but we still have network challenges in some deeply rural areas.
Okay.
But, in as much as we try hard.
So the question is, should we just give up, or should we just try what can be done even in smaller places through very slow network. In other words, you can collect the data locally on your cell phone and some other devices, and just transmit it to a larger site that has access to larger network. That's how these things are working out. By the way, I'm going to give you a lot of examples of this nature. Okay. Okay. All right. Sure. Now I want to talk about the technologies part. So this stage model is good. That tells you, how can you use web technologies like HTML and those kind of technologies to go through different stages of evolution. Now I want to go to talk about some other technologies. Of course, the web is not the only thing we have. There is mobile computing, of course, is needed. Also, some of the companies can be in a smaller region and like just local. Some of them are international organizations. So I want to now show you some different aspects of evolution. How do companies go from very low level of technologies to high level of technologies? And right now, initially, I'm going to talk about 4 technologies. One is the web technologies. Of course, I'm assuming everybody knows these technologies, so I'm not going to go through the details of them right now, but I can do that later on. Mobile apps, of course, all of you know mobile apps more than probably I know. Then is this thing, dimension is the dispersion, meaning and that a company can be just a isolated little company somewhere, or it really has connections with other companies, some other sites. So that's the dispersion. And then smartness. This has to do with by using artificial intelligence and some of the other technologies. So this is, by the way, just a very, very simple model. This is another way of describing where your businesses are at present, and that is looking at the innermost axis is the one where this is the low. And if, let's say, these are 4 dimensions, the web dimension. So this means if somebody is low at web, they don't use the web technologies at all, that would be low. High would be if they really use semantic web and some of the very sophisticated web technologies. Now mobility, this is the mobile apps. These can be no user mobile apps or anything. And the high dimension would be using IoTs and very sophisticated type of mobile devices and sensors and things of that nature. Similarly, high data dimension, basically having very small amount of data on an Excel spreadsheet to having large amount of data. And then using the smart technology like artificial intelligence. So a company or several companies can be like this, right? In other words, they're using their web dimension is low. They're not using mobility. They're not using very much data, and they're not using the other technology like the artificial intelligence or anything to that effect. Right? So this is one dimension. Of the other dimension would be so the companies can go all the way to this type where they are pushing all angles. In other words, they are using a very high level of web, high level of mobile computing, very high level of data. They're using big data applications, and they are also using artificial intelligence. So that. So I'm assuming that there are not very many companies in or many cities that are using that in the outer circle right now, right?
Yes, we don't have much of that.
Okay. So that, by the way, becomes a challenge. That how do you go from the inner side? Let's say for a smart city has to have of course, smart technologies, also have to have high use of web and mobile apps, and also the big data type of applications for AI purposes. So that's what, we are going to take a look at it. And our job, that means you and I will both, and Amos, we're all work on it, that how can, what dimensions can we push to make these transitions quicker. So instead of making, having slogans and lectures on these things, so the question is one at a time, what are the areas or what are the companies that you have in mind, and studying them and seeing how we can move them from inner circle to the outermost circle. So by the way, I'm going to give you all a project, and these are going to be team projects. And in these projects, we're going to go from very low level to high level. By the way, these are not the only technologies. In reality, there are a lot many other technologies, but we can just focus on these 4 technologies. But in reality, these are like 8 different technologies. There are 4 more that I did not talk about. So these red are still the 4 technologies that I mentioned: web and mobility and data and smartness. But now I am adding things like outsourcing to cloud. I don't think there are very many. Are there any cloud providers in Nigeria?
Very well, yes.
Okay, so there is a cloud in Nigeria. So so using cloud services, then security, for example, and blockchain. These are some of the technologies. By the way, we can talk about these things also. Then like a dimension of the global organizations or organizations that are connected to other organizations. As I mentioned, just is it this organization or most organizations at the inner circle, or are they moving to the outer circle? So similarly, you can see that some organizations can be on the outer circle of it in all of these 8 technologies. And by the way, there are more technologies, but so the question, so this is going to be, by the way,
Prof.
Yeah.
That the Nigerian government is currently putting up a national policy on blockchain in the country.
Okay.
So
okay, good.
It's becoming a prominent dimension.
All right. So that's what I'm trying to find out. And this is why this discussion is very good, is that, and I can also make some tutorials available on blockchains and things of that nature. So my purpose is to help you. That's it. Okay. To move from the inner side to the outer side. So your project that we're going to talk about next week will be to choose a company or a city or a location, and first of all try to find out where they are. So that will be the inner circle, where they are, and then where do you want to be, and then see how can we get there from here. That's it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I'm just okay. Give me about I think I have 1 or 2 minutes. So let me show you. By the way, this entire material is on your on the website, the Moodle site. So you should be able to take a look at it. So this is a case study about a company. It's a Bob's Bicycle Shop. So I just said that this is a let's say that it's a company in Lagos. And by the way, this is not a real company. This is it's based on a real company in the United States. So I just put Lagos there. So look at this company very carefully and decide and do an analysis of it. Where is this company right now? And they make bicycles, for example. And how can they use technology to go from the innermost circle to the outermost circle? Okay, that is going to be your first assignment, and here is your homework. 1 is that you can either, first of all, I'd like you to take a look at the course syllabus carefully, and just take a look at it, and select a company that you are interested in, and we can form teams. I think we should have that discussion about forming a team, and then, but your thing will be, your main assignment will be that for your case study that you choose, or your company that you choose, you can choose your own, or you can use case study one, the one that I just said, as the Bob the bicycle shop, and then do a quick analysis of it, that where is your company right now, and then how would you represent the company in terms of the 8-dimensional model? Like, are you in the innermost circle? Are you where you are and where you want to be? How was, for example, if you want to look at it, how was your company affected by COVID? What were the lessons learned? What are the operations that need to be transformed for resilience, and what needs to be done quickly, and what else needs to be done to assure survival of your company or town in the future? So this is just a very simple assignment. Take one company, any company that you know, or take a small town if you want to, and I'm quite open for it. I'm just gonna ask you to take a look at it. This is not due next week, but I would like to have a discussion of it next week as a starting point. How is that?
That's fine, sir.
Okay, good. So everybody should choose either a town or a company, in the private business or a public organization, and see where they are by using that circle, and then where do they want to be. This is just a rough outline, so we can have a discussion of it next week. How is that?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Amjad Umar.
Thank you so much,
Indeed,
Prof.
very grateful. I think in our next session right now, this leads us to our next session, Prof. And that will be that in that order, where we have the FCT participants, to just do 3, we don't have much of that time to waste, 3 max 5 minutes review of what you are taking away today.
Right. They should do that. I think one more thing is, maybe I should ask all of you to, and I'm gonna, write to, and maybe Amos, you can do the coordination to just ask everybody to post their thoughts on the discussion forum.
Excellent. We'll have all that. We'll take all that. We will take all that.
So if they can do, if you can just put your thoughts, initial thoughts and initial solutions on the discussion forum by next Friday, because this class is on Saturday. So if you can do that on a Friday, then I will review it on Friday night. Excellent. And we'll start from there next week. Excellent. So that way we won't waste any time.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. That's awesome. So FCT, Mohammed.
Sure.
Mohammed, your floor.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Are you taking anything away today?
Yeah, for sure. I'm taking a lot of things from Professor Amjad and the participant.
I cannot hear you.
Can you please share the screen so we can see people?
Sorry?
Can you stop share that you're shared? The screen share.
Okay,
so we can see.
All right. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Oh, great, yes.
Right now. Is it gone now?
Yes, thank you. No, it's not. It's still there. It's still there.
Is it okay? All right. So let me see where my screen sharing here.
It's at the very top, probably.
Very top. Yep. Okay.
No, that's on your screen, but it should be on the top of your
Yeah. I got it. Okay, just to make sure that I say stop sharing. How's that?
Great.
Thank you, perfect.
All right.
So everyone, you can bring back your video. Let's see your faces. Do we have Gombe in the house? Gombe. Do we have Gombe in the house? Okay, yeah, I think I can see. Okay, great. So please, FCT, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Very well.
Yes,
okay.
Mama, go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor, for this wonderful presentation. It is really amazing. I think one of the key points I took today on this section, I can really say it is basically on stage of the evaluation for the digital enterprises. And when I compare this with public service in Abuja here, I can see there is a lot of things that we need to do to improve the activities of government services here by following this kind of stage of evaluation. Because most of the civil servants here, they do like to use old model way of transaction their government activities. Looking at that, there are a lot of people that are currently are on study leave abroad, but due to this COVID-19 pandemic, they cannot be able to come back to write their promotion. So some of them, that is the main reason why they lose their promotion currently. But if government can all embrace this kind of stages to move into the digital activities, it will help whoever in whatsoever country that he or she is studying can be able to get a platform where he or she can write their exams successfully and get their promotion. So to my own view here, I think on the journey, I'm going to maybe get the opportunity to learn how to create some platform, especially to my organization, whereby we can going to initiate it. Anybody on study leave abroad can be able to have access to their promotion exam and any other activities digitally.
Okay.
So that's my view for this. Thank you so much, Prof.
All right. Thanks a lot. And by the way, I mean, that's why I just only put, 3 sessions on right now, and we'll decide what more needs to be covered based on what your needs are. Okay.
That's right. That's right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, FCT. We will take IBOM.
Thank you, Mohammed. That was very good.
That's right.
Thank you, sir.
IBOM,
Thank
please.
you, Prof.
Your voice is breaking up. Amos. Yeah.
Okay, IBOM, please.
So let's not
be such a challenge. But where I see the challenge is the B2C, because Nigeria is predominantly a rural country. We have urban cities, but the bulk of the nation is rural. And I'm thinking about it from an educator's standpoint, that if you're considering the students as being the customers, then even if we're saying, okay, let's use cell phones, because most households have cell phones. The challenge is the cost of data, and so in the theory of change, that challenge needs to be addressed. And as much as we do understand the need for B2C, C has to be empowered to receive it. Right. So I would like us at some stage to think about about
Yes.
how to accommodate those individual needs and that ecosystem deficiency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good question. I think maybe we can talk about it. So that's an excellent point that you're making, Doctor, because you are mentioning that in your in your view, especially from the education education services, and the customers are, of course, students. But you're saying B2E is easier because that's the business employee, which are maybe teachers and things of that nature, and even B2B because between schools and other schools that can be accomplished. But the B2C is the major challenge because of the fact that customers, the students are really spread out. So you mentioned cost of data. Is it what is the system in Nigeria for charging for the services? Do they charge for the amount of data sent back and forth?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So is it possible to, for example, once again, in other words, instead of sending a lot of transactions back and forth, having just accumulating data and then sending it as a batch, do you think that may be a way to overcome the cost and also compressing it? Because if you can take the data, large amount of data, and just first of all just store it at your site, and then just send it as a compressed file. And also a lot of educational materials, some people just needlessly put too many graphics in it, whether many rich graphics and things of that nature. They are not always needed. A very simple black and white picture, or just hand kind of a sketches type of thing can do the job. But our materials were mainly text materials, and there were very few diagrams in it. So nowadays, everybody just feels that unless you have 200 diagrams, it's not good.
It depends on the grade level you're talking about.
Yes.
Because you see, you're talking about tertiary. I can hear that, but when we're dealing with a country that has a large population of elementary students, and elementary education requires capturing the students' imagination.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yes. And for that, the pictures are very important. I may need to, maybe you can come back next time and talk about it more.
Right.
I want to think about it because that's a very interesting problem that you've just mentioned.
Right. I've had to work with several schools to help them develop their virtual and their hybrid curriculum during this pandemic. And what I'm talking about is the greatest obstacle, the greatest hurdle we've had to overcome. And as I said, in the theory of change, when I'm considering which way to go, that is a major obstacle. Okay. So let's think about that.
I want to think about it. So if you don't mind, maybe you and I can exchange some emails also on it, because that is a really important part, by the way.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Great. I'm sure Dr. Mr. will hear more issues, and that's why you're here. to help us analyze them.
Yeah, this is great. This is great.
Let's have
Thank you.
AKWA.
Yes, I'm on.
What are you taking away today?
Well, today for the first time I've seen a real breakdown of how businesses can go from the lowest level in terms of technology and develop gradually into 4 dimensions, 8 dimensions, and I've gotten to learn a term, the brick and mortar, a descriptive term of a technology deficient, a descriptive term for a technology deficient organization. And it fits, it just fits, the description just fits. It's just brick and mortar, just the building standing there. So I've got to learn how I can basically start from scratch to develop and introduce technology gradually, be it a government establishment, whereby most of our government establishments here, it can actually be described as brick and mortar. So technology can gradually be instilled and injected into the system to increase their efficiency and help them deliver their services in smart ways.
Now, besides, AKWA, you are the person that is so interested in energy solutions.
Yes.
Is that right? So I think it might be very interesting that you try to begin to look at how you can tie this together in that light. So thank you for that.
I mean, I like to work with you. I mean, by the way, with all of you, my hope is that we can all, you know, this is a starting point. So my hope is that after this course is over, we will become friends and we can work together on these projects.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes,
so, Kano State, your takeaways.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So part of what I've learned today is the fact that business owners that are living far beyond this digital system can be involved in this process. We have a lot of business in Nigeria, but the problem is they don't have access to this type of digital technology. They might be interested, but the access is the problem. So we think we need advertisement, awareness, so that more people will be involved in this e-commerce and e-business. The other thing I've learned today is about the telemedicine. We have a lot of people that are not opportune to have access to medical facilities, especially in the rural area. So with the use of this digital system, I think this telemedicine, I have interest in it, and more people will be opportune to have this facility. We have village people living in the rural area that cannot even go to hospital. So this telemedicine, I think, will help people. So I think I'm so interested, and I've learned so much about this telemedicine.
Thank you so much, Adia.
Thank you. I mean, really, you know, I love to work with you also on this telemedicine part, because that's one area that we are working on too. So thank you very much for your comments. Appreciate it.
Okay,
so we have
okay, Adia, just information. You in your profile, I hear you are from Tarauni in Kano, right?
Yes.
Great. And you have a major.
That's my local government.
You have a major orthopedic hospital in Tarauni. Is that right?
Yes.
I know that hospital need a lot of help. Is that right?
Yes.
So I will be sending you back. I will be sending you, because I've done some research across the country. I'll be sending you back to the hospital that you need to offer the help that they need. All right. Thank you so much, Taraba.
Yes, there is even a.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I speak, please? Hello?
Sure. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You know, the funny thing is, as good as telemedicine is for the rural areas, it shouldn't only be confined to the rural areas. In Houston, telemedicine has taken off incredibly, especially during this pandemic, where people can't actually go to the doctor. So it's something that's crucial for any community, urban and rural. In the middle of the night, you have a child that's sick. The child, you shouldn't have to get up and go to the hospital if you have a telemedicine card.
Excellent.
You know?
Yes.
So that's something that we need to actually try and promote for the well-being of the community as a whole, not just the rural situation.
That's a very good point. Very good.
Yes.
That's a very, very good point. Yes, excellent point. Yep.
Okay, because of time, but I need to add something. I think it started during the World War, that telemedicine. when soldiers cannot have access to medical facilities. I think that is the World War II or First World War. That's when it started. When soldiers in the war point cannot have access to medical facilities, that's when they started. So
that's a very good point. That's an excellent point. Thank you for mentioning that, Hawa.
Thank you very much, Kano. Can I have
Very
Taraba?
good.
Very good.
Taraba
State? Taraba State.
I love this. Okay, I love this discussion. Okay, more.
Can I have Taraba State?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
What's your takeaway today?
Yeah, I really have a quiet takeaway today. And unfortunately, our businesses here are not growing fast.
Can release your video, please. I told everyone to release the videos.
Unfortunately, most of our businesses are not moving fast here. More especially, we are not keen into online businesses.
Alaji Ishaku Mafindi, you are to make them. You are now to change all of them now.
Yeah, from today's class, I found out, I know what the problem is. Most people think that before you move forward, based on the breakdown of the business we see today, that means you can start from the low level, you can be moving up to the standard that is required. Today, I really enjoyed the class of today, more especially seeing the stages of growing a business online.
Thank you, thank you. Edo State, Edo State.
Very good.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Where's your video? Okay, you're having challenge. Okay.
Yes, I'm having challenge in my video.
Go ahead, please. Yes, I'm aware of that.
Yeah, from what so far that what Prof have said, I believe in Edo State here, the usability has been a challenge, and the usability of this technology has been a challenge, and in some of the areas there are no good network coverage as well too. Network coverage is a challenge as well on that regard. And if you look at, I said the other time, if in our Edo State here, in the government agencies, we have several computer systems, we have several technologies, but some persons are shying away from the technology. They are not using it.
Excellent.
Making it obsolete. I believe on this part, usability is to teach them how to make use of it from the scratch, at least to where they can be dependent on
endurance, that's an assignment. Were you there when the former lady commissioner for ICT was there? What's her name? The lady. Not you.
Is it the one who traveled to America?
I don't know, but then she runs an angel venture capital organization now, and she worked under Oshomole.
No, I don't think
you went there then. Okay, but your boss, UNAPS, worked directly under her. But then these were some of the challenges that has been there many times ago, long time ago. And most governments actually sometimes have a problem directing funds in the right direction. And that's actually the main essence why we want to get them committed to the people that we are building around them to give them the assistance that they deserve. Actually. So let's take Bauchi States. Bauchi in the house?
Yes, sir.
Please, let's hear. What's your takeaway today?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Well, what I will think today is many points for us.
Okay.
We have many problems in Bauchi in digital. It's like we are outdated from the system.
Prof, please don't laugh us.
Because yes, can I continue?
Please go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Please, yeah.
Because if you look at at the 21st century's technology today, even we can't even manage the payroll system of the entire state. A staff in the state can take a lot of 7 months without a salary. We didn't manage the payroll system. So what I've learned today, the organization, how you can manage your organizations. You can. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yes, in the organization, if you didn't pay them for the work, they can't even come. We didn't manage the payroll system, but I learned how to manage the business in the pandemic, in this COVID-19. All the shop was locked, and the customers and the seller, they don't even have even one website for the entire state, so all of the customer were locked and the sellers. So I learned how to can even create a simple website for the businesses, so that the customers can order and we can deliver for them. That is what I have learned so far.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bauchi. Then, oh, sorry, I wanted to ask a question, Mayuba.
Yes, sir.
Abubakar Tijani Abba, was he in Securities and Exchange Commission before now?
Yeah, no, is possible maybe like Edmond, the new administration brought him.
The new
the
DG.
ICT place is yes, it's the new DG.
Okay, because the name rang a bell actually. Let me have Katsina in the house.
Huh?
Katsina, are you in the house?
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Please
Here,
go
sir.
ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Today?
Fine, sir. So, like what my friend said, I'll go direct to the point. He said in Bauchi is like they are outdated. Also here in Katsina too, I can say the same.
Can you not
I can say the same. It's like it's the truth. And though we have to find a solution to that. So like here in Katsina, most of the things our people are willing to accept the technology or the system, but the problem is like we are at the end of the world, at the end of the Nigeria, that from here we enter to Nigeria. So all the solutions, so like all the solutions and the technology, they don't easily come to us in time. More especially those that come will take years to come here. And those that are here in Katsina, they are not willing to develop the solution or to invest into the technology. They are waiting for it to come, and the thing will not come in time. But from what I study as I started this company, which I have started recently, is that our people are willing to accept the system and also the technology, but they don't find those that can provide the solution. And also they don't find it easy to get it. So, and also even the businesses, our businesses here it's like they need someone to help them to enter into this digital economy or digital world, but they don't find it easy. So thanks to the as we all know, learn that we have to train a lot of people. So we'll try to do our best that if we train those people or if we enlighten them about how this thing is possible, then those people, they can help us and they can help our community to make it possible, so that these solutions will not only stay in the western or in the southern part of the country or
on
in
our
some
textbooks,
states.
on our textbooks for life.
Yes, sir. So it will also stay. It will be also available here in our states. So that's what I have for now.
Thank you very much, Abubakar Yusuf. Thank you so much.
May I ask a question, Abubakar?
Okay.
And the Bauchi thing. How is the cell phone usage up north?
You said?
Your cell phone, the mobile phones.
Okay, the mobile.
Well, let me answer it, please. Sorry, I'm coming.
So it's all right. You answered.
The mobile phones. We have many mobile phones for the state, but the issue is that all of them are interested in social media, WhatsApp, and Facebook. They don't want to go further.
Okay. The reason I'm asking that is I'm trying to figure out what the platform would be, what the device would be that is commonly used, that can be used to pivot the community into technology. Because I know that in Abuja, even the peanut selling woman will take an alert. You go there, you say you don't have money. She'll say, okay, ma, I'll give you my account number. You can send it. So I mean, if the banks can use the mobile phones,
yes,
then I think that's what we need to start looking at. What is already on ground that can be used?
Exactly. In fact, that is a very excellent point, because in many cases, even in some of the farthest more islands that I'm working with, they have cell phones. Okay, they don't have anything else, but they do have cell phones, and some of them are 2G, but many of them are 3G. Okay, so so really there is a possibility to just take a look at that and look at it, but looking at it systematically, that from the point of view of businesses and government services, are there like C2B, B2E, B2B, which kind of these services can be delivered through cell phone, and how can they be done?
Exactly.
Yes, exactly, sir. Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Everybody just keeps dancing around, well, technology is not there, government is not helping, this is not helping. But I mean, there's an excellent point that yes, I mean, I have my family lives in Pakistan, and I go visit there, and even in the smallest, remotest possible villages,
they have cell phones.
Even the people who are very poor, they don't have anything, but they have cell phone.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly, sir. Even here, people have cell phones, but it's like like what she have said is that the issue of data, and also they have the cell phones, but they can't utilize it in the proper way.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. I want to know, is Gombe in? Gombe was in and been out before now. Ogun State, please. Ogun State, Mr. Olubenga.
Okay, thank you, everyone. And can you all hear me?
Yes, what are your takeaways? What are you going on with?
Okay, thank you. Now, what I've learned is that I actually got to know where we are, because I believe if you don't know where you are, you don't really know where you're going to. Get there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So today's lecture actually made me understand where we are, and based on the fact that we've been doing one or two things in the transport industry before now, so I'm able to gauge where we want to get to in terms of we now have something like you can actually access, evaluate yourself, where you are, where you will be the next few steps, and where you'll be after them. So today I've actually been able to understand where we are going to, and what we need to achieve.
Okay.
For the records, our business is actually it's B2B, but we are actually also planning a B2C. B2B in the sense that we are automating the transport industry. And I would say every issues that have been mentioned is actually one of it. Like people not being able to do their internet services, not getting to some places and the likes. And then we've been developing some solutions, which are not out yet, but we're developing some solutions to actually cater for that when we start going to B2C. And one of it is using USSD to actually access them, even if they don't have a high-end mobile, they will have something like a little feature phone with which they'll be able to do USSD. So we're actually having all of that in plan too. So this lecture has actually been able to let me understand where we are and where we are going to. Thank you.
Okay, very good.
Thank you very much, Ogun State.
Thank you very much.
Benue, Mr. David Yako, unmute yourself. Mr. David, unmute yourself. How are you?
Okay, good. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Actually,
okay.
Let me just introduce you. David Yako is a nomination of the Nigerian Computer Society, BENUE State Chapter. I had the opportunity of speaking to that community yesterday virtually on digital economy, why we must understand the benefits of digital economy, and I made them to know that digital economy is not purchased. It must be worked for. I didn't know whether they were happy with me, that if you wrongly...
We're very happy. I would want to have him back again.
That the benefits of digital economy is not given, you must work for it.
Yes, yes.
But then I'm happy they were able to nominate somebody from that community to join us. So you're welcome, Mr. David Yako.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amos.
If you enjoyed anything, what's your takeaway, sir?
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, must apologize that I came in quite late. Actually, I got the schedule for 2 p.m. and had made a real arrangement to get in. Unfortunately, I had a problem with my system, and so it took me some time to be able to get in. So I actually missed the first lecture, but I hope that I will be able to get details, maybe from the slides.
The video will be available in the group, actually.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, Amos,
thank
could you
you so
also send
much.
me the link to the video clip? I want to study it also.
Very well,
please.
very well. I'll share the link. I'll share the link in the various groups. Right.
It's okay, but I must say that we're really happy to have gotten an opportunity to be here, and we're hoping that the gains here will help us back home.
You must go deliver your home.
Definitely, definitely. Of course, there are some little efforts that are being made in Benue too.
Very well. Very
and
well.
Just as you were aware, NCS is playing a big role. Of course, there's a lot of awareness, but the awareness is not properly harnessed strategically to bring in the gains. NCS is working with the government and other IT firms.
That is why at your nomination, I mandated Nigerian Computer Society to ensure they get the endorsement of the Ministry of Science and Tech. Anyway, so we are going to hold all of them accountable and responsible for this. So thank you very much, Mr. Yako. Dr. Miss Edebo, please could you help us with a roundup of Nigeria's problems, ma'am?
For me?
And the roadmap, yes.
Oh, okay, the roundup of Nigerians' problems. Basically, the way I see it is this. We have to, as someone said, we have to know where we are. We have to start from where we are. What is currently on ground? What is currently available to the populace that they feel comfortable with? Because there's going to be a change curve no matter what we do. And as much as the the stages of developing a digital society, digital community are well defined, but it's not necessarily a smooth transition. There are stops along the way where you have to educate and make the community aware of the benefits of some of the things that we're proposing. Different sectors have different challenges, but one of the main challenges is energy. No matter what we have, if we do not have sustainable energy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If we do not have sustainable energy, no matter what else we put in place, the challenges will be there. I'm operating a virtual business. I'm over here and I do my training in Nigeria, and I've been doing that for a year. I do consultancy in Nigeria for a year. And this is where I realized that we really do need to utilize the cell phone more, the mobile phone more in developing this community that we want to develop. Everybody has a cell phone. Not everybody has a cell phone that works most of the time, because the challenge is data usage. Someone needs to talk to the data providers. Someone needs to talk to the data providers so that they can bring the cost down. Then we have, as I said, energy. someone needs to design, and it may already be in place, self-charging cell phones, self-charging mobile phones, or a way to have the mobile phone readily charged outside of the electrical system and is not dependable. So the gentleman that's dealing with energy, we need to go into the community and see how we can help our community be self-sufficient as far as the energy source for this device will be. Then we also need to talk about training. We need to train the community. We need to train the populace on how to use it. As I was listening to the presentation, I was thinking of two different companies in the US. They both sell books or sold books. One was called Barnes and Nobles, and the other was called Borders. At the same time, one pivoted into away from the brick and mortar into the digital, into the B2C format, and they did it gradually. They did it effectively. The other one was grounded and really believed in the brick and mortar, really believed in the person to person, face to face. And by the time they started to try and pivot into the B2C, they didn't effectively evaluate the needs of the community they were trying to serve. And that's another thing. We need to evaluate the needs of each individual community. Although Nigeria is a country and we're trying to create a countrywide system, we have to also understand that each system has its own needs, has its own pitfalls. And all of us here who are representing the different states, we need to say, like the person up north was able to say, well, this is the problem of the north. What are the problems of the south? Those things need to be addressed. I really believe that education is the key, not just education as to how we're going to use the system, but education in, if we start young, if we catch them young to where they have a comfort level with technology. I still have people who are my age who are afraid to access their emails. There are women in organizations, especially in organizations I belong to, so I will send things to them digitally and they'll tell me, oh, when my husband drives, or I'll ask the children to do it. That's where a lot of the older generation are. So we need to also, we can't leave them out. As much as we're catching people when they're young, we have to come up with a system to re-educate the people, the older generation. But I think it's doable. I think it's doable if the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And I'm looking at the parts and seeing how rich and how skilled parts are. And I can only say that whatever plan we come up with in this jigsaw of needs would be greater than the sum of our individual parts. So we need to look at the things that are challenging Nigeria first and foremost before we do anything else. Look at your area. What are the challenges in your area? And let's see what we can do to overcome those challenges and build from there. But as far as schools, definitely we need to talk about how we can incorporate technology into our schools. I'm currently working with a group that's planning a digital system for Ogun State. And I'm also working with a gentleman that asked me to create a virtual hybrid system for Osun State education. And we're talking about primary and secondary. So if we can get to where education has been developed, where it's smooth, the students are working, where the teachers are working, the parents are working, then once they have that level of technology, they can bring something else. I know all of us know what it means to get a bank alert. And I think that's always the one that I like to this as an example. Everybody here knows how to use the cell phone to transfer and receive money from their bank. Am I not right, Amos? Do you not know? If I were to send you $1 million right now, you'd get an alert, right? Amos, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, all right. The message.
Amos, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I tried to get the message, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, did everybody hear me, or am I just talking to myself?
I think the voice, I think the
Yes,
sound
sure,
is breaking
sure.
a bit.
I can hear you, sure.
You said my voice was breaking a bit?
I missed the message.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, we heard you.
Okay, no matter what. Okay, so my problem is, my issue is, we start where we are and we chart the course for where we want to go. And we look at the obstacles along the way and the things that might help us succeed that are already in place. Okay?
All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Professor Amjad, we say thank you here from Programos Foundation. And
all right, thanks a lot. Yeah, I appreciate it. This was very good. So once again, I'm requesting everybody to please put your, do your homework one assignment, which really is for you. And I think today we got a lot of very good ideas. Pick a company or a small town, or any industry, in fact, any industry that is of your choice, and just do this analysis from C to B, B to B, B to E type of a thing with the capabilities that you have, and how does this model fit in your environment. So I think I would like to really hear and see everybody's thoughts on that. This was very good suggestions, but on the other hand, sometimes the sound goes away and all that type of stuff. So I want to encourage everybody to write like 1 or 2 pages of your main ideas and just post it on the discussion forum, and then we'll use that as a starting point next week. Okay?
Okay, Prof, you permit me to do this. I'm actually going to break the class into 2. I'll break the class into a group of maybe about 2 persons jointly to face the assignment for better quality.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Yes, I think that will be good. Maybe we can just
collaborate
use
the assignment
sound.
Get the team produced in pairs.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
And congratulations for John Biden. Congratulations for Joe Biden. Is the result not out?
I can't hear you.
I mean, congratulations for Joe Biden. Is the result not out yet?
Why are you congratulating? Why are you congratulating?
It's my own feeling.
Are you for the elections?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know yet. I think Biden seems to be winning, but we don't know yet for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a good day.
You and I do not agree on that, but okay.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay.
That's the beauty of democracy.
Yes, exactly. Okay, have a good day, everyone. I gotta go.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And Amos, please do send me this video. I mean the recording, because I wanna listen to it. Okay. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye, Amos.
Merci.